And now, coming to you live from the decentralized studios of Satoshi Crypto Research Labs, it's Blockchain After Dark.
And now, with stars over our heads, under the night lights of the city streets, this.
Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Blockchain After Dark. Some night birds in the background, chirping up a storm. I find it interesting these days. All these discussions about the death spiral, obviously that is not real, in the crypto markets, and particularly with Bitcoin, and how that relates to world politics, and specifically American politics. And you might think to yourself, oh gosh, no, not another conspiracy or whatever. And absolutely not. I'm not advocating any particular opinion. These are just my interpretations of opinions that I see out there. So they're my opinions about opinions. This is not financial advice. This is not investment advice. I'm not selling any particular securities or anything like that. Do your own research. Don't take opinions from random YouTubers as, the word of anything other than a random YouTuber, including myself. Always get a broad base of opinions before you make any decisions, and do your own research. Again, be responsible for your own actions. Okay, now that's out of the way, because you always have to say that nonsense, but it's important. It's not really nonsense. It's good to say. I find it particularly telling that we have a lone American, well, I guess there are others, but one particularly vocal and well-covered American, the former FBI director, James Comey, making, comments before Congress and to the media and in interviews, like at the 90-second Why, etc. Talking about his interactions with President Trump and President Obama before him, and all these sort of the differences in the way that President Trump is compared to others, and the things he's doing are potentially obstruction of justice. Was there collusion with Russia and all this kind of stuff? I mean, who doesn't find that somewhat interesting if you're into politics at all, right? Doesn't matter what you believe, I don't really care. You like Trump or don't like Trump, I don't really care. What I will say is, if you are of the mindset that, central banks are controlled by a small number of, owners, etc., or even by the banks that are listed as the owners, and if you believe the banks really have more pull in politics than the politicians or the voters, then this falls neatly into the story arc of a corrupt politician, Donald Trump, running for office and doing shady things, potentially illegal things. It seems, multiple people in his immediate inner circle have been convicted of doing illegal things in his name. Now the question is, did he do it? Did he know about it, etc.? Whatever. Again, I don't care what your opinion is about that. I'm not here to discuss that on this channel. But it is interesting that if you are into the whole central banking story, if you understand why central banking is bad in general for money and for people who aren't ultra wealthy, if you understand why the devaluation of the dollar and other currencies over the years, the inevitable hyperinflation of every currency when it reaches its end, if you understand that storyline and you understand it and you think, okay, this is one of the reasons I like crypto or whatever, one of the reasons you see crypto as a potential solution, or one of the potential solutions to the current centralized banking system, then it's definitely food for thought that Trump was, how do I say this without sounding like a crackpot, was aided, let's say, in his attempt to become president. And whether he really wanted to be a president or not is also moot, but he did become president. And if you believe central banking, has interests that are above politics, right? If you believe the whole storyline of, the Rothschilds hundreds of years ago, one of the Rothschilds famously said, "I don't care about who makes the laws, I care about controlling the money," or whatever. That's paraphrasing a little, but that's the general quote. Then again, this fits neatly into that story arc, because by putting in ostensibly, you might think he's super intelligent, or you might think he's a buffoon. Probably not much in between. I don't think there's any people who think, oh, he's just average. Right? Maybe he is just average, but I don't think most people think that about Trump. So either they put in a super intelligent person, if that's the way you want to view him, or they put in a buffoon, if that's the way you want to view him, or whatever. And that way, essentially, the central banks can use him as a scapegoat for the devaluation of the dollar and the eventual collapse, probably, of the dollar and its replacement by a digital currency that they will probably try to control. And which digital currency will that be? Who knows? Could it be XRP or some other one? Something that the World Bank has already tried to use, the digital dollar, right, asset. Between banks, etc. They have sort of an internal digital assets in order to calculate exchanges, etc. However, it's not used frequently or commonly at all. It's just sort of an experimental idea that is still sort of sitting in, I guess you'd call it, lukewarm existence at best. Does it mean anything anyway if the central banks control the politicians, right?
And now, a word from our sponsor, getablockchainwallet.com.
Yeah, and I just want to mention now during the holidays, if you're buying crypto for anybody, for yourself, if you're going to give the gift of Bitcoin or ETH or your favorite coin, whatever that is, XRP, yeah, I can hear the teeth grinding. I can hear the anger when I say that. But if you can, if you're giving digital assets away this winter holiday season, then actually you can get a lot of great deals on hardware wallets. And you really should get a hardware wallet when you collect digital assets, and especially if you give them as a gift. What is a hardware wallet? Well, a hardware wallet is a product that keeps your Bitcoin, your Ethereum, your XRP, your Neo, your whatever it is you have offline and safe in effectively cold storage, disconnected from the internet, safe and away from hackers. And not all hardware wallets are equal, right? There's different levels, different qualities, different features. Some have different accessories they come with, or that they're capable of working with. There's all kinds of different ones on the market now. It used to be there was just like Trezor. I think that was maybe the first. I think that was the first one. And then there was also Ledger, came out shortly after. And then there's KeepKey, and now there's Ecomi's secure wallet, and there's all kinds of different cold wallets on the market hitting today. In any case, the solution for keeping your crypto safe, and it is important, is, keep a paper wallet with your secret keys and your secret phrases and all that stuff. Keep that secure and offline. Pen and paper works great for all that. Print it out if you have a computer and a printer, or at least a printer that's never online. Never has been and never will be, and has no Wi-Fi connection. Then you can print it out and make sure you delete anything in the printer's cache. But if you don't know how to do that, then don't use a printer. you can use a template available on this website I'm about to tell you. You can grab that template to print out a paper wallet, and then you can write down the keys on the template because it's nice and organized. That's one way to keep your cryptos safe. The other way is, as I said before, is these hardware wallets. And you really want to have one because it will keep your assets safe from things like when a big exchange gets hacked. You know, there are very few exchanges. I think Kraken has never been hacked, right? Kraken has never, as far as I know, has never been hacked. But I can think of so many that have been. You know, yeah, not all of them were as large of a hack as Mt. Gox, obviously. That was the big mother lode. But there have been tons of other hacks on major exchanges, getting away with a few hundred ETH here, a few hundred Bitcoin there, whatever. They're stealing, right? And they're stealing from innocent investors like you who put in their hard-earned money into something new that you believe in. And it's not pleasant when you get that stolen from you. I'm sure you've probably heard of some cases of people who had hundreds or thousands of Bitcoin in a wallet, maybe even back when they weren't worth that much. And now if they just, if they hadn't been hacked, they'd be worth many millions of dollars, etc. Those things have happened, and don't let that happen to you. Crypto is a new form of asset. It's a new form of money, or it will be regarded as such probably soon. And that means that there's new ways to keep it secure. It's not cash, it's not coins, it's not checks, it's not a credit card, it's not a debit card, it's not all those things you're used to. But it is a form of value, and you want to protect those values because those are assets that you own. So check out getablockchainwallet.com. On getablockchainwallet.com, you can basically read reviews that are independent that look at each of the major wallets available today, really just the best ones. And also there's the paper wallet template that I mentioned. And once you read the reviews, you can basically go directly from the review to read other reviews on the site about the other wallets to compare it to, right? And you can go from any of the reviews directly to the store where you can buy the wallet. So, and right now, because it's the holidays, most of them are, I think they're giving away 20, 30, maybe more % off of the shopping price, the base shopping price, because it's the holidays. So if you ever wanted to get into crypto and you haven't done it yet, you're new to crypto, this is really a great time because we are seeing quite low prices. Markets actually jumped a little bit yesterday for the first time in a long time, in a number of days, a long time. But generally speaking, we're seeing fairly low prices on things like Bitcoin and Ethereum, XRP, and other leading cryptos, Litecoin, etc. So whatever you're considering for investing in crypto, any kind of gift you're thinking of giving away, if you are going to invest in crypto and you're new at it, or if you're going to give away any kind of gifts, make sure you get a crypto hardware wallet. And before you do that, do your own research. Go to sites like getablockchainwallet.com and others and compare them and read the reviews, watch the videos, listen to the experts who talk about the particular wallets and show you step by step in the tutorials, even how to use them. Right? And on getablockchainwallet.com, there's also step-by-step instructions right there on the page, visually, so you can see what to do. For example, if you install any particular kind of app on your phone for it, things like that. So stay up to date, know what's going on with crypto and how to keep it safe, and have a very, very happy holiday. getablockchainwallet.com. Cover your assets.
And now, back to blockchain. After dark.
Also, for the record, this situation probably would have been this situation regardless of who won in 2016. Yeah, sure, if you are into the story arc that Trump was a puppet, don't think that Hillary wouldn't have been also, right? Like, in a different way, with different consequences, but still the same convenient scapegoat there to blame the ultimate demise on the dollar is there. Will the dollar demise? Will the dollar demise? Is that a thing? Will the dollar fall significantly in the coming year or two, or 5 years, or 10 years? And especially right now when it's strong compared to crypto over the past year, it's easy to ask that question. How strong can crypto possibly be if the dollar, which is supposedly falling in strength, is continuously gaining against crypto in the past year? Well, there are a lot of reasons why that might be the case, including the injection of cash, which the Fed says they've stopped. But so yeah, again, this situation probably would have happened regardless of who was in power, who was elected in 2016, whether it was Hillary Clinton, or Donald Trump. This particular president fits a particular story arc, but that doesn't mean that there weren't others at play. And again, I really don't believe this is at all any kind of conspiracy. I just believe this is what enterprises like the Federal Reserve or any other central bank, or frankly any other company, would do very simply and openly. Even if it's behind closed doors, it's quite obvious that that's what's happening. That they're doing whatever they can to, retain power, while their base of revenue and wealth is, I don't want to say in jeopardy, but coming under attack, being challenged by this new digital asset called cryptocurrency, based on blockchain technology and other technologies, right? Let's not forget DAG and Tangle. We love those. Anyway, so I just thought I should mention that it's not necessarily, this isn't all about Trump, right? Doesn't matter how much you love him or hate him. It's not all about him. If you look at the powers that are at play, regardless of who's in charge in politics, this scenario is probably one that was fairly inevitable. I'm not a fatalist. I believe we can always change things, but this has been at work for a long time. It is not a surprise that it is happening now, and that's why I'm actually very excited about the coming years for blockchain. You can probably hear it in my voice. I sound very excited, right? You can probably estimate that I forecast a bright and sunny future for blockchain and cryptocurrencies, and I don't necessarily see the demise of the wealthy and the Federal Reserve owners and all that stuff. I don't see that, because the wealthy aren't likely to give up their wealth. They're more likely to convert their wealth into whatever the new form of wealth will be, right? So they'll just buy up cryptocurrency whenever they decide that that's the time for them to do that. But again, that's a whole separate discussion I've already addressed once. I'll probably do more of that, but what is the purpose of cryptocurrency if all it's doing is shifting power to a new class of wealthy people that are cropping up from within blockchain, but mostly retaining the same wealthy elite class who are just going to take over the crypto world financially when they decide that that's the asset class they want to dominate. And by the way, the likelihood is they already do, right? All that OTC trading, we know where that's going. So, all right, there you go. I had to say that. All right, anyway, does the politics matter if they're just puppets? Again, I don't really care. If I don't really believe in either way that they're trying to solve anything in particular, then I don't really support either of the parties necessarily. And I think that it doesn't matter if they're controlled by banks or not. They behave as though they are. And so may as well, understand what it is that the banks are interested in doing. And the central, I mean, when I say the banks, I mean obviously at the higher level, the central banks, the banking authorities, the Federal Reserve, central banks around the world, etc. Did they also, by putting in Trump, who now has put in Mick Mulvaney as his White House chief of staff, and Mick Mulvaney is a Bitcoin supporter, and Mick Mulvaney recently called Trump a terrible human being, and now Trump is his boss at the White House, and he's the chief of staff. What? So now Trump's chief of staff is someone who thinks he's terrible and who likes Bitcoin a lot. Let's see how long that lasts. Let's see what happens. Right? I find that very interesting. Anyway, I don't want to go on too long about this, but I did want to raise this story. My point is that it doesn't matter. Like, I don't believe that it's a conspiracy at all. I don't believe that the central banks are run in any conspiratorial manner at all. I believe that they're just businesses who are as enterprising as they can be and who are trying to hold on to their wealth and power as long as they can, just like any other business would, right? And does. And I'm just not into that whole conspiracy stuff. Sorry, you have to show me a lot more evidence before I could believe that. Do I believe central banks are bad for the economy? Yes, in general, I do believe central banking is an outdated form of running an economy. And I think most, bleeding edge economists who understand crypto economics would say the same thing, because ultimately you have, devaluation of currencies that are fiat, and you have bad management, corrupt management, basically causing the rich to get richer and the poor to get poorer, and the middle class to get poor too. So, in general, I think crypto is a great solution, and the blockchain is an amazing solution for so many things, namely the fact that it can actually record an accurate record of something that can be agreed upon by a consensus network or the like, and that it's immutable and it's forever historically recorded as such. I think that is very important, not just for political documentation of the facts, although that's important, but for all kinds of things, from medical record keeping, to construction record keeping, to logistical record keeping, to human resource record keeping, to you name it. There's practically nothing that requires a record that can't be kept better by having a blockchain, whether it's public or private. It doesn't matter. A blockchain is a very strong technological development that can help record keeping become a much, much better science, and can really help humanity improve in a lot of ways. And, it may be one of the most boring things in the world, record keeping. Not everybody's into that. I get it. But effectively, that is what blockchains do. And to understand that technology of how it works it's quite extensive in its potential reach. So, okay, I'm going to end it on that note, and I'm just going to say, hey, if you like Blockchain After Dark, then do me a favor and subscribe, hit the bell button, get notifications, like the video if you liked it, share it, and definitely leave a comment if you like, or send us an email, contact us through our contact channels, and until next time, thanks again for joining us, and be well.